through assembly.
Hi, Dunn Dolphins. We are so excited to share with you our first fully inclusive assembly of the school year. We are holding this assembly in the classrooms because a lot of our friends who are autistic and neurodiverse thinkers, the big crowd in the cafeteria can be very stressful with all of the sounds and the lights and the people. So thank you for taking time out of your school day to help us celebrate Autism Acceptance Month. We are very proud to have an award-winning author and speaker, autistic writer, Daisy Montgomery, here joining us. So I will let her introduce herself, and our friends and I were going to ask some questions to learn more about what it's like to be autistic.
Thanks, Ms. Henry. My name is Daisy Montgomery, and I am an autistic ADHD adult, and I wrote the book Autistic Every Day, and I own a company called Autistics Anonymous, and I go around and I educate others on what it feels like to be autistic, and I also help fellow autistics with the resources that they need. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you, Daisy. And now I'm very excited for students to ask some questions that they have prepared. Claire, are you ready to ask your question?
Of course. I really like Pokemon. I like Paw Patrol and Pokemon. Which Pokemon is my favorite?
Which Pokemon is your favorite?
That is a very fun question to answer. Whenever Pokemon came out, it was only 151. There was only 151 Pokemon. So I would say out of the 151 originals, that Charmander was my favorite. And that's my favorite question.
Daisy, do you find that there are a lot of people who are autistic that have specific focuses of things they like to, or that they care about or know a lot about?
So we call those SPINs, or special interests. And that is when an autistic person really loves a specific topic or object, and we become experts at it. So if you ask me about Pokemon, I can tell you a whole lot about Pokemon. And if you ask Claire about Paw Patrol, she'll be able to tell you a lot about Paw Patrol. Because with our special interests,
Your question? Thank you. Roston, are you ready for your question?
I heard you were Canadian. I have a joke for you. Where does the snowman get his money? Where? In the snowman.
classic.
You're right, Daisy. It is plastic.
Did you like telling jokes to your friends as a kid?
Well, I have to be honest, when I was a little kid, I didn't have many friends. So, part of what I did to make friends was learn how to be funny and tell jokes, because I felt that if people thought I was funny, that they would want to be my friend.
Okay, it's not Sally's turn.
Wait, what are some things you wish other kids had done for you and make you feel welcome and comfortable at school?
That students, whenever I was a kid, would ask if I wanted to be included instead of make mean comments about me being weird. I also wish that they had more patience with me because sometimes it was hard for words to come out for me, and they just didn't have a lot of patience for me. So I would want people to have more patience, but also ask if I would like to be included.
Time for a break now.
Excellent.
Kids can recognize human faces.
Can they recognize the moose faces?
Good question, and I don't know.
Oh.
But I do know that bee breaths are an amazing way to calm down. To get your bee breath on, sit up straight, close your eyes, put your fingers gently in your ears,
La, la, la.
and breathe in. Then breathe out, making the sound of a hummingbee. Try it. Now, make sure you're comfy, and let's take some bee breaths. Ready?
Okay.
Breathe in, hum out. Breathe in, and hum out. In, and out. In, hum out. Breathe in, hum out. In and out. Breathe in, hum out. Great. Bee breaths are great for when you're frustrated, anxious, or even angry.
Well, what about when you're hungry, huh?
No.
Oh. But it's worth a try.
How can you be friends with the community?
First thing to remember is that we have a lot more in common than we do differences. So if you ask an autistic friend a question and it takes them a little longer to answer, or they say something that you feel is weird, just remember that their autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder. So our brain just does its own thing sometimes. And whenever we're trying to communicate, things come out wrong. Not always, but sometimes. So when we have patience for others, that allows autistic students and friends to feel more welcome to communicate with. So focus on the similarities, not the differences.
Do you think that our students at Dunn need to speak differently to our friends who are autistic, or speak as if they're younger than they are, or just as they would other kids in their grade?
There can be a tendency to want to talk in a baby voice or talk very slowly and things like that to our autistic friends. But autistic friends understand what you're saying, and you don't have to talk to them like a baby or like they're incapable, because we're very capable, and sometimes it just takes us a little longer than others to complete a task or answer questions.
Okay, Miller.
What were you really good at in school? Awesome, Millet.
I was really good at science, especially when it came to identifying bugs, praying mantises in particular, and of course, writing and reading were two other skills of mine that I really excelled at in school.
little bit about spinning?
Spinning. Good, Auntie.
Stimming is a really important part of being autistic. Stimming helps autistics express happiness by hand clapping, or sometimes stimming can help us feel a little less anxious by getting body movement. So whenever you see a friend stimming, there's a reason for it. And so we don't want to criticize or make fun when we see an autistic friend stimming, because it is a very important coping skill for us.
Are autistic brains wired differently?
That is a great question. So, autistic brains look physically the same as neurotypical or non-autistic brains. However, the way that we intake and process information is different. So there's different neural pathways that we use to process information that are different from non-autistic brains. And you can't see those pathways except under a CT scan or sometimes an MRI.
What's your favorite thing just do when you have free time?
I am so glad you asked. I love to play video games and snuggle with my cats and my Pokemon stuffies on the couch.
What would look like a calm space to you? What would feel calm?
For me, and every autistic is different, but for me, a calm space is where I'm either playing very gentle music or there's silence, and I have all the soft textures that I need to make me feel safe and comfortable, and my cats.
What sort of video games do you like to play?
Well, of course, Pokemon games.
I have listened.
Okay.
Listen to this one first.
I haven't listened to.
But I also like playing role-playing games like Baldur's Gate or Skyrim, where I can be a hero with magic or swords.
What's more important to our Earth?
What's the most important thing to our Earth?
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to our Earth, I think we have to be good stewards of our natural resources and care for the environment. But about people, I think it's really important to celebrate differences and include everyone when we can, because inclusion equals belonging.
Wanted to ask? Daisy, was there anything that you'd like to share with the Dunn students or their families before we end up with Ms. Talbot-Sully's to share how we're going to celebrate and spread awareness and acceptance in April?
I just want to say that the kids in this generation are just so inclusive and accepting, and that really makes a difference for autistic friends and students. And it just really fills up my heart to see that we're having these discussions in school, because a lot of us older autistics didn't get to have these conversations. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming. And we'll end up with Ms. Talbot-Sully's, who will maybe share on the screen what we're doing for the rest of the evening.
All right, Dunn Dolphins. So this was our first week of Autism Acceptance Month, and we're celebrating all month long. And we are going to use our IB profile traits of inquirers, thinkers, and we're going to be reflective as we go through 3 lessons to learn a little bit more about autism and how we can be friends with autistic kids in our community. So I want to hear some awesome discussions Let's take some of the information we've learned from Daisy today and apply it to our learning over the next few weeks. And our final project will be a mural using the infinity symbol, which is a symbol that autistics have chosen to represent neurodiversity. And we're going to make it in a rainbow, and we're going to make a dolphin out of it to signify our inclusion of autistic folks here at Dunn.
Friends, can we share our love with Daisy and with our hearts to say thank you so much?
Thank you.